In then to the latest edition of Extra Time, Craig Burley with us in the studio. Nadim Manu, I think, is still with us. He hasn't walked off. There it is. And Frank Leboeuf. How was your birthday, Frank? That was what, yesterday?
That was great. That was yesterday. Yeah, thank you very much. I had a very nice dinner with my lovely wife, and that was absolutely fantastic.
Any nice presents?
And I received a text from you, not from Nadim. No. I didn't receive any text from Nadim and Craig, and I'm very disappointed.
I didn't know.
But I received from Dan. Yeah.
There you are.
You, Nadim.
Yeah, I sent you a nice message. Frank.
If I knew it was your birthday, Frank, I would have sent you a present.
Oh yeah, what would you have sent him?
Well, I don't know.
Well, God, I don't think I've ever
thoughtful present.
I've never seen you buy anybody a present.
No, I don't buy presents when
we're
out due.
He's Scottish. He's very close to his money.
Yeah. Oh, he's not though. That's the thing. You can say Craig's a lot of things, but he's not tight.
No.
It's cool.
Frank texted me the other day.
What did he say?
Nothing.
Just a blank text.
Pictures.
Oh, of you in the commentary strip.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, he sent me them as well.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
All right. It's obviously had a quiet day.
Yeah.
Question for Frank. How do you think Tuchel can solve the Lukaku problem? He's clearly struggling in the current Chelsea setup, and you can't just bench your record signing as well.
That's a good question. I think he has to make sure that Lukaku gets his confidence back, and he can't find the key. He tries to put odor next to him with Mason Mount. He tried many tactics to try to help Lukaku. Football is different, in Italy than in Premier League. Lukaku seems to have struggled, every time he played in England, and showed all this talent, when he played for Inter Milan. But it's different. He had some chances to score today again against Spurs, but there is a lack of confidence for sure, and he has to go back to that phase where he can score and not thinking about I have to score. But that's more up to Lukaku than Tuchel. Tuchel has to give him the trust that he can do and put him in the first 11, and maybe something will happen.
I actually sent a question in.
Did you?
Yes, but I have a great fear that it's not going to appear on the screen.
What did the question say?
It was about when the bloody gym's going to open at work.
Right. Well, I don't think that's relevant to anybody but you.
You go to the gym?
No, not.
There are other people that work in this.
I'm not holding out to go to the gym. If I wanted to go to the gym, we just pay for one in town.
I like this gym at work.
Why?
I like it.
Why don't you just pay for one near your house and just go there?
Because this one near where our building is, I'm in the zone when I go in there.
You're in the zone.
I come in a little bit early, I'm in the zone, and then that gets me in the zone for work.
Right.
And every other gym's open, I don't know why I can't go.
No, you just can't get in the zone.
And it's free.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, there it is.
No, that's not it.
There's the crux of it. How's the 100-metre training going, Nadim?
Yes, it's getting there. It's getting there, little by little. But thanks for checking in.
Well, that's all right.
Whenever you want to race, then we'll do it. Yeah.
I'd prefer to race Shaka than you, to be honest.
Nadim, one of your strides would be about 20. Would be about 20 of his. He's not going to.
Well, that's until the gym opens anyway.
Yes, indeed.
You've got the gym there.
Back on the treadmill.
Gym with your Brazil top.
Yeah, back on the treadmill.
Remember?
Yes, I do. It wasn't that long ago.
Oh, it was. Over 2 years
For
ago.
Craig, we see Liverpool successfully complete January windows without Mane or Salah. Do you think the fullbacks, Trent and Robbo, are more important for Liverpool than their traditional goal scorers?
I think it's hard to say more important, but we've seen, for example, Chelsea have some wobbles without Chilwell.
Reece James as well, yeah.
I think if you took Walker and Cancelo out of City, it would certainly be problematic because of the way they play. So there's no doubt the modern fullbacks have had just such a huge bearing in the game. Now, we could sit here and talk about the game has changed, and it has, but the teams from yesteryear would look at the defensive, and I know Frank has a big...
Yeah, he was banging on about it on the show.
Frank has a bugbear about the lack of defensive responsibilities from some of the players now. And that's kind of part of the game where it is. It's like where it used to be at least 60 or 70% defending and 30% attacking from fullbacks is completely switched the other way now.
Right.
Which puts more pressure on centre halves, but it makes for an attacking game. It doesn't make for a game for the purists, but it makes for I would say a better spectacle.
Right, Nathan, let's do this. Top 4 Liverpool players out of these 4. What is the order? Mane, Salah, Trent, Robbo.
Get out of here.
What are you saying? Get out of here.
You know who number 1 is.
Yeah, we know number 1 is.
Come on.
Salah, Trent, Robertson, Mane. That's my take. Yeah.
You concur, Frank?
Yes. Everything Nedem says, I concur.
Wow.
I'm happy with that.
Wow. Frank's mellowed in his old age.
So on your birthday, did Zinedine Zidane come?
Yeah, did Zidane send you a text, Frank?
Did Zidane send you a text?
About what?
Your birthday.
New Year's Eve or about something else? No, he doesn't care about my birthday, We have on. Yeah, go on.
Who was the most famous person who texted you happy birthday, Frank?
You.
Apart from me. That's a given.
Lilian Thuram, Vicente Lizarazu, my fellow compatriots. Yeah, they sent me a text. Christophe Dugarry and Alain Bogossian. Some of them.
Frank, Frank, be honest.
That's it.
Be honest. Did you send them a text? Tell them it was your birthday.
Guess what today is?
No. Because I'm quite known, so it's said.
I'm quite known.
In fact, the French Federation sends to every former player whose birthday of a player is. Every day I receive an email saying that's birthday of that guy. He's 92 years old. He belonged to the French team. And so we all know when it's. The birthday of somebody, so I didn't have to do that, but I would have done otherwise to make sure they
just to make sure.
Yeah,
I'm Scottish FA do that as well.
No, they don't.
That's the thanks you get.
The Scottish FA don't get involved. They try and distance themselves from you as much as possible.
I don't know why.
Nedem, Arsenal's draw to Burnley and Chelsea beating Tottenham certainly aided Manchester United's top 4 hopes after they beat West Ham. When teams are in a title race or a race for the top 4, do players keenly watch their opponents' matches, hoping they lose or draw?
Yes and no. Yes and no. I think you always have to keep a track on the results, but a lot of the time you play at the same time, so you check the results afterwards. But I think the beauty of it, especially as the season progresses, is that some of those games are prime-time games, and the 12:30 kickoff in the Premier League is the one that gets watched by absolutely everybody. Sometimes you can watch it as a neutral, but if you are in a race with another team, then you are absolutely rooting for them to lose, and then that gives you such motivation as you enter your game. That usually kicks off at 3 o'clock. So I think you'd be naive to not pay attention to it. But then in the same breath, that sense of helplessness can be quite stressful. But it's always good to know what you need to do if you want to try and achieve your goals. In your many, many, many relegation fights, Nedem, what's it like when it's the opposite, when you see a team around you win? How deflating is that then, going into a time? Listen, mate. Oh, my goodness gracious me. You go, here's my story. This is to tell you specifically what happened. So we got promoted with Leicester City. The year when we were in the Championship together, they went on a 19-game unbeaten streak, and we were trying to finish in the top 2. So they destroyed us from that point. And then the next year, we're both in the Premier League, and they were bottom at Christmas, and they were 6-7 points behind us. And I said, I quote, "They are finished. Don't even worry about them. They're going down. We're going to try and fight to get out of it, but they're finished." Come the end of that season, Leicester were about 14th. We went down to the Championship. That next year, I was 12th in the Championship, and Leicester won the Premier League. There you go. So yes, I have tracked their results, and it was a nightmare. So yeah, there we go. That's the insight that Nedem brings to the show. Thank you very much. Craig, is it becoming annoying that teams like Burnley only intention is to sit behind the ball and hope for a draw, when you see teams like Southampton going for it against City?
Well,
that's a stupid question.
I don't quite think what you can call. I don't think yesterday's game at St Mary's can quite be called going for it. Yeah, they had a few counter-attacks and scored a very good goal. But then, I don't have the stats in front of me, but it was close to, I'd imagine, 70 or 80%
Yes,
possession, which is understandable. Look, Burnley have a lot of injuries and had COVID issues. They have got 4 or 5 games in hand. It's been piling up for them. They're going to Arsenal, who have been in decent form. They haven't played for 3 weeks. So I'm not expecting them to do anything else than they've done every other year when Sean Dyche has been manager.
Right.
And whoever else has been manager is go there and fight and scrap and try and get a point. And that's exactly what they did. So is it? Do we all want to see something different? Yes. But all Sean Dyche is trying to do is keep them in the Premier League, which is going to be tough.
Frank, you like this question?
Yeah. No, it's why I say it's a stupid question, and with all due respect to Assassin, no. I mean, you have to play with your tools, with your plus, and not your minus. I mean, Burnley is last in the Premier League. They have to save their butts, and what they have to do is to defend well. And with the player they have, with Pop in the goal, Tarkowski or me. They have good players who know how to defend, and today they proved that they can do well. And getting a point against Arsenal, even being in their last 16-yard box for an hour, but getting a point is fantastic for a team like that. If they would have gone forward, they would have lost the game. That's as simple as that. They're a professional team. They know where they're good at and bad at. And for sure, Burnley is not good at attacking. And we saw it today with so many counter-attacks. They could have gotten a goal, but they did stupid things. So it's better they defend. They try to be safe, and we'll see next season if they can, if they're still in the Premier League, if they can do better. But right now, they can do better than that.
Nathan, why do players in the age of VAR still stop defending to appeal for offside? Holding your arm up surely doesn't help anymore.
Come on, it's instinct, but in the same breath, as soon as the flag's not up, you do have to carry on going. But yeah, I don't think it's not necessarily something that should be a bugbear, because at the end of the day, people do tend to play towards the whistle and then they complain afterwards. But it is instinct to see somebody offside and to put your hand up, because you never know. That may sway the opinion of a linesman. If the linesman puts his flag up straight away, then there's not even any reason to check for VAR. So I get it, and it's just part of the game, and I don't think it's going anywhere.
Must be quite deflating for players these days, knowing that they go to lambast the referee or the officials in that sort of violent manner, aggressive,
Experience speaking here.
passionate, frustrated manner, knowing that he's just going to video's checking.
Yeah.
Rather than you've just got it wrong,
Yes.
and I'm going to tell you you've got it wrong for the next 30 seconds. But it's quite annoying to see players do that when they know it's going to be checked. Whether it's just force of habit that they're used to doing it. Maybe it is, I don't know. But
I think
go on, Frank.
what is worse, I think, Craig, what is worse is to see a player knowing that, for example, the guy was looking for a penalty, so he's falling. He knows that the guy didn't touch him, so he knows that there isn't a penalty, but he still tries to convince the ref that there is a penalty where, as you said, it's going to be checked. So he'd better get up and say, you know what, no, nothing. We don't waste any time, checking. He didn't touch me. We can go on. They keep on thinking that they can change the referee's mind, which is, I think, stupid.
Everything's annoying.
Everything's annoying. Let's talk about something else that annoys you. Goalkeepers.
Your goalies.
Best goalkeeper performance you've ever seen live. Frank, Nathan, does anything spring to mind?
24 hours.
Give you 24 hours.
For me, yes, Joel Comenbeuf in Strasbourg. I already explained that, sorry, Nathan. The guy signed for Strasbourg from Switzerland, Joel Comenbeuf, international player, and we didn't know him. And the goalkeeper in place were one of the favorites from the fans. So he signed 2 days before. We barely trained, like 1 hour with him, and he came on, and he was booed by the Strasbourg fan. We played at home. And he had a hell of a game. After 45 minutes, the guy had a standing ovation. I never seen that in my life. He saved us. And the fans forgot about the former goalkeeper. That was over. Amazing.
I made a mistake during the show because I said that Cameroon don't have a goalkeeper for their clash against Comoros. In fact, it's Comoros who don't have one. So they've got three goalkeepers. Two have got COVID.
You're just admitting to one mistake during the show?
Well, yes, and many mistakes.
No, he did another one. He did another one.
So I've got
he did
time.
another one. He said that Messi played. He came on.
Yeah, he said Messi had COVID.
Yeah, that's what he said. He came on, Frank. Listen.
No, he said Messi had COVID, and then he said
I said he came on.
he's recovering, and then I made a mistake. So we'll just brush on.
Right, that's it.
It's a half mistake.
There we go.
Half
But
mistake.
why I'm admitting this mistake is it leads me then to ask you a question in the fact that obviously two goalkeepers have got COVID, one is
Hold on, I'm
injured.
going to answer that last question.
So they've got the best goalkeeping performance.
Jim Leighton.
Jim Leighton.
Yeah.
There you are.
Oh, sorry, still up. I was thinking about it there.
Jim Leighton.
Jim Leighton, former Aberdeen and Man United goalkeeper,
Yep.
playing for Scotland in a match I was playing in against Sweden in a qualifier. Hampden Park was being renovated, so the match was at Ibrox. And John McGinley scored, former Bolton player, and we won 1-0. How the hell we won? Well, I know how we won.
Right.
Big late, so Big Jim was.
How has the Vaseline industry coped with his retirement?
It's share prices down.
He just used to have it all over his face, didn't he?
Yeah, the share prices went down, and Jim. Jim also.
Here we go.
The teeth would come out.
Yep.
So Jim had the Vaseline over there, covered in Vaseline over his eyebrows.
Yeah.
The contact lenses were in. What could possibly go wrong?
Vaseline in
Because he
there.
had the Vaseline, Jimbo had the Vaseline to stop the sweat running down into the eyes and into the contact lenses. Because if he rubbed them,
Yes.
like that,
Yep.
all over the shop. But so he had them on everywhere. Jim was a one-off. He's a great guy, fantastic goalkeeper, obviously, in his time. Had a run in with Sir Alex at one point, but great fella. But yeah, smothers himself. And well, I put it one way. He'll know what he says, Jim. He's not going to win a beauty contest.
Right.
Put it that way.
Yep. Naden, best goalkeeping
If he
performance.
sees this, I'm dead.
The one that came to mind, which I think we all would have watched, was I think it was Tim Howard against Belgium in the World Cup, and he had 15 saves, which I think is a record for a World Cup game. So that one, I'm going to say, obviously, is legendary. Yeah.
Remember that?
Sorry? Do I remember it?
That
Yes.
was the Belgium game, wasn't
Yeah, it was the record. It's Wondolowski with a late chance.
if America had the US men's national team, whatever it is they call them these days,
Yep.
if they'd have won that would have been one of the biggest travesties going, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, but they would have
But it's
been
only our
celebrating it.
colleague Jurgen Klinsmann who was the manager, but I'm sure he's not watching this.
Would you be volunteering to go and goal if you were at Comoros right now?
Less running about.
Yeah? You'd be happy?
Give it a shot.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Naden?
Well, to be honest, I think if you're somebody that was going to be on the bench and it's a chance to play, then yeah, just give me the gloves and get me on there.
No, but
That's
then
the thing. I don't think
chance to
anyone
play
that
or
would
the
normally
chance to be
playing
the
would
villain,
there.
the chance to
You're not the
mess it
villain.
up. You are.
You
because you're
cannot
not
be the
expected.
villain.
No one expects
you cannot
anything.
be the villain.
Well, expect you to grab the ball.
This
Right.
is how I can tell you've not played, Dan. This is how I can tell you've
Well,
not
there are
played.
many things I've just
Rookie.
said.
Forget all that nonsense.
I mean, it's going to be
So
fun.
another mistake. Mark that one down.
Particularly if he wears like big gloves that are 10 times too big or something.
Are you just shooting all the time if you're the opponents? If you're Cameroon tomorrow?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Crosses, shots.
Yeah, just filling your boots.
Well, they'll play a possession game and just not bother, basically.
Final question. This is quite interesting, actually. To all, did you have any bad experiences playing against players with bad odours or bad breath?
Yes.
Who?
Bad odours. Terrible. The boys talked about it in the dressing room after the game. I can't mention who it was. But
Not Jim Leighton, sorry.
it wasn't Jimbo. It was my time in Scotland, though, and this guy played for Hibs.
Right.
We played them one day, and one of the lads came in after the game and says he was a fullback. So I've narrowed it down
Okay.
quite a lot.
Hibs full back in '98.
Not a lot. And one of the guys coming after the game went, "Did you smell that guy? He was stinking." We went, "Yeah."
Did he do it on purpose? Like to put you off?
No, they didn't do it on purpose to put him off. It was just running about, sweating, and they had a pungent smell. It was just wasn't very nice. So
Be a good tactic, wouldn't you? I'm not going to wash for the whole week just to annoy Burley.
but it wouldn't put me off. He was a fullback. I'm in the middle of
Right,
the park.
okay.
It wouldn't put me off.
Right.
It's just not nice. You know what I mean? Like,
Bad odours, Frank?
Not that I recall, but I have something that makes me laugh because I play with somebody, and I'm not. He's not very known, but I'm not gonna name him. But the guy had some gastric problem before the game, and very, very much, you know. And he's been tackled once, and so the guy tackled him, and let's say that he let it go.
Right, yeah.
So
beautiful.
He went out. Everything went out, and he had a diarrhea. So it went out on him, and the ref came to see because he was injured at the same time, and he went to see and escaped from there because of the smell. They called the doctor. The doctor didn't want to come close to the player. Nobody wanted to save him. That was awful for the guy who had to get up and get out, you know, with full of you know what I'm saying, and that was awful. I couldn't stop laughing. I couldn't play anymore because I knew that the guy had some problem, and I knew that what happened immediately when he was tackled, when everybody was escaping from him. But it was so funny to see the ref coming to say, "Hey, my guy, what the hell is going on there? Get out of the field. We don't want to see you."
Imagine that.
That was so funny.
Imagine that though, because like, you know, if it was a live game or that, the ref would have to take the players off the field, wouldn't he?
I don't know.
Well, you can't play on with that around. You've got to make chat. Somebody's going to have to. What are you going to run over when the ball goes over there?
Nadim, how did you get over that experience?
I didn't say it was him.
Oh, dear.
Do you feel better? Do you feel better, Nadim?
Frank,
was okay now?
Frank, was this?
Yeah, I feel much better now, thank you.
Frank, was this after I left or before I left? Give me a clue.
No, that wasn't in England. That was in when I played for Laval.
Laval.
The first year that I played.
No.
I thought it was at Chelsea.
Beautiful. Nadim, smelly breath, bad odour stories?
Yeah, there's one particular odour. So we were in Dubai, and it was like a warm weather training camp thing, and the manager, Harry Redknapp, said nobody's allowed to drink. So obviously that meant that everybody was going to go out and drink. And there was a smell of one player in particular as we came to the training ground. You could smell that he'd had a good night. And he then proceeded to put on the worst performance in training I've ever seen in all my life. It was like he was playing with, like, seeing 4 footballs were coming towards him. He couldn't run straight, couldn't go backwards. He kept missing the ball. So yeah, that's a smell which I'll never forget. And it's one which got us into quite a bit of trouble, as we were told, like I say, nobody's allowed to drink on this trip.
Quite a
Magnificent.
Quite a strange question, that, isn't it?
It's quite a good question, though.
Well,
I quite like it.
It's suggesting that the individual is like thinking everybody's going out, going up to the players.
No, but it's provided some excellent anecdotes.
There's more. I'm not going to tell them.
Craig, you were left. You left already, but we won the League Cup, and the player was so happy that we won it that kept on going out every night. And we couldn't run being behind him because of the smell of the alcohol. I won't name him. You have to look for him. But that was crazy, and it lasted for like 2 months.
Wow,
that was so funny.
Wow, that's got some issues.
I was very happy.
That is it. League Cup meant more in those days. That is it. And then that brings us to the end of today's show. Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis, and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.